I'm me the stylist, no scammer, no style me.
From the market to the farm to the office, money talk is everywhere. But are you making sense or nonsense? The Bank of Jamaica brings you common sense with BOJ, real stories, real laughs, and real lessons to help you protect, grow, and manage your money. Mattress savings.
At least my mattress, no charge me to sleep on it.
Partner plan.
Remember last year we needed our payouts early? But Miss Pam gave it to her cousin first.
Or a sketchy loan flyer.
Electrifying deals.
See why making the right financial choices is pure common sense. Brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, empowering everyday Jamaicans one episode at a time.
Grandpa, it's 2026. You can't keep hiding all your money in every single pocket forever.
Up in CVM News, multiple arrests and seizures in week-long anti-trafficking operations. KCMC and JCF joined forces to remove illegal signs in the corporate area. Pan Jamaica Group takes lead role in Little Theatre renovation. Outside of Jamaica, Russian tankers are en route to Cuba in an attempt to bypass U.S. sanctions. And later on in sports, Raymond Richards adds bronze medal to Jamaica's tally at World Indoor Championships. Hello from Kingston, Jamaica. This is CVM News at 7 for Saturday, March 21, 2026. I'm Caroline Brown. Thanks so much for joining us. The Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division, the FNID, has dealt a significant blow to transnational organized crime after a week of high-intensity intelligence-led operations between Sunday, March 8 and Saturday, March 14. The FNID apprehended 10 individuals, and following investigation, 6 of them were formally charged with breaches of the Firearms Prohibition, Restriction and Regulation Act and the Dangerous Drugs Act. Now, the operations also resulted in the removal of the following from the streets: 1 black MP Smith & Wesson Springfield 9mm pistol, 6 9mm rounds, over 15.8 kilograms of cocaine, and a quantity of ganja. The seized cocaine has an estimated street value of 9.6 million Jamaican dollars. Reports are on March 8, the FNID personnel in Georges Valley, Manchester, intercepted a man acting suspiciously. The Smith & Wesson pistol was found in his possession. He was charged with possession of a prohibited weapon and unauthorized possession of ammunition and is to appear in court on April 18. Meanwhile, detectives officially charged 2 men on Monday, March 9, following the interception of a vehicle on the Mandela Highway on March 4. 1.2 kilogram of cocaine and a quantity of ganja were found inside the car. Both men will jointly face 6 charges, including possession, dealing and trafficking of cocaine and ganja. And the FNID says it continues to clamp down on narcotics trafficking at our ports with the arrest of 3 foreign nationals at the Sangster International Airport. A female British national was arrested after attempting to smuggle 9 kilograms of cocaine, while a male British national tried to smuggle 1.9 kilograms of cocaine. Both were boarding a flight to England on March 12 and 14. Another male, also a British national, was apprehended after attempting to board a flight also to England. He was carrying 6 kilograms of cocaine. All three have been charged with possession of cocaine, dealing in cocaine, and taking preparatory steps to export cocaine. Their identities have not been released pending further investigations. Acting Director of the FNID, Deputy Superintendent of Police Sheldon Coulson, stressed that the JCF will continue to intensify intelligence-led operations, working closely with both local and international partners to target organized crime groups and disrupt transnational criminal activities. Now, when taxi operators in and around Spanish Town blocked several roadways earlier this week, protesting deplorable road conditions they maintained after more than 5 years of spending their own money to fix potholes, it's time for the authorities to do their part. Our reporter Natasha Williams caught up with the demonstration on Salt Pond Road in the Dunbeholden area.
This is where a fiery protest was staged in the Dunbeholden area, where taxi operators are protesting against poor road conditions they said have been an issue for 5 long years.
As operators protested, our news team witnessed this motorist's tire chopped by one of the potholes.
CVM road with them block. We have this problem going on for the last 5 years. People come, dig the road, plan to fix it, never come back. Election come, dig the road, never come back. We have this going on a long time. We keep on mashing up all the vehicle, and it's time we get something done about this road.
Mr. Russell says this marked their first protest, and despite being on the ground since 5 a.m., they are prepared to continue their actions.
If we don't get the road fixed, we're going to continue to do what we have to do. Real bad, real bad. Some hole, I don't know if a pothole or a manhole or precipice or what, but it's really bad.
He says he's currently repairing his vehicle for a cost of over $25,000 for the damage it received from the bad roads. For another motorist, Fabian Harvey, he says after potholes damage their vehicles, it's unfair for examiners to then render it unfit.
The road needs to resurface. The road rotten. You need to dig up, tilt to one side of the water can run off it, and barber green, proper drainage. Because even if you ever come and patch it over, you couldn't mash up again.
No, we don't want to patch it. The patching cannot work.
Years. Listen, it normally take like say 20 minutes to go grade a pump. Now it take like an hour. And then send examiner come tell us your vehicle no fit. If you drive on the road no fit for your vehicle.
With potholes stretching across the roads, the protesters say it's not only a personal cry, but a plea for the safety of others.
Because when you have to slow down, hold them up there, so a bike man just ride up and rob a man.
The heavy trucks that travel on this road from Hill Run with load, and sometimes them travel this way, it is causing the problem, the trucks.
So we're not for burning the road. But what we're for is to get better roadway on the Dunbeholden. But all we're asking for, Dr. Wheatley, Mr. Fitz Jackson, we're asking you, please help us. Help us, it's costing us daily.
Natasha Williams, CVM News.
Now, if you have signs and billboards mounted in the corporate area, you will want to pay keen attention to this next report. A campaign is set to begin on April 1 to ensure greater compliance with signage regulations. The Mayor of Kingston and other officials from the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, the KCMC, have already met with members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force to sign off on the plans. Carla Ramdeen has more details.
Mayor of Kingston, Andrew Swaby, says phase 1 of the signage regulation initiative began in January with a 20% discount offered to encourage businesses to comply with the municipal regulations. Despite outreach efforts, compliance among stakeholders has remained low.
We also met with the various interest groups like the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce, the Small Business Association, and we have been talking to them about it, sensitizing them. We also did have our team on the road going into individual businesses to talk to them with a letter, to talk to them about the science. And we had our ads. This is not something I've ever done in the KCMC, but we have put out ads. We have done various measures, take various steps to see if we can get these for them to be compliant. And they have not been compliant. I think right now we have just about a 16.4% compliance rate.
Mayor Swaby explained businesses are given adequate time and support to comply voluntarily, but phase 2, which begins April 1, will shift to enforcement, including increased inspections and action against non-compliant operators. The KSAMC has partnered with the JCF with teams from Area 4 and 5 to assist with the removal of illegal signs.
It is time for action. And I believe before we go action, we have to sensitize the police as at what laws give us the authority to do so. And just to briefly outline to you what we have been doing in a more detailed way. And at the same time, going to solicit your help when we are going on the road.
Assistant Commissioner of Police and Head of Area 4, Michael Phillips, explained the police are on board and will ensure sign removals will be completed in a safe and peaceful manner.
I know that there will be some resistance in terms of you trying to enforce this, but I'm not sure that our powers will allow us to go outside of maintaining the peace in terms of public order situations. So what we can guarantee you is that when you go out, we can have a team go with you, and if there is any breach of the peace or anything along those lines, that is where we will come in. So we will be there with you just to ensure that you carry out and execute your duties in an atmosphere where there is no threat to anyone. But in terms of pulling signs and so on, we will not be a party to that part of it.
In the meantime, the KSAMC is urging business operators to regularize their signage ahead of the enforcement deadline. Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
The government is pointing to a systematic approach to positioning the country to professionalism through skills training. The recent budget speech by the Prime Minister also provided details on how educational facilities will prepare Jamaicans, young and old, to compete globally.
The government speaking proudly about moving to address the needs of youth as they demand a clear path of progress with support systems in place. The plan to have Jamaicans compete globally in the world of tomorrow. The Wholeness Administration pointing adamantly toward taking them from their childhood years to professionals. The breaking of ground for 2 of these 6 STEM schools, Bernard Lodge in St. Catherine and Minard in St. Anne, set to take place this year.
Simultaneously, NARA will be building the other 4 STEM institutions that will take students from early childhood straight through to secondary education, immersing them in STEM from the earliest years right through to the door of our tertiary institution. These schools will bring an entirely new approach to the education system, exposing students to science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics in ways that build the creativity, innovation, and problem-solving skills that the economy of the future demands.
A government insisting they are listening to the people and consulting with tertiary-level students on developing a work experience program best suited for them. This year, the Heart Trust will introduce a pilot of the Tertiary Learning Earning and Prosper LEAP program to widen pathways for tertiary education to employment by providing paid on-the-job experience.
Students of accredited tertiary institutions as participants of the Tertiary LEAP program will be able to engage in meaningful work in the public sector and participating private companies. As they work, they will receive a competitive part-time compensation package. LEAP is an opportunity for students to continue learning while hard places them in employment of their choice so they can assimilate into the workplace, earning an income and garnering valuable experience.
The drive to expand access to opportunity through skills training further accelerated. Tuition fees at Hart Trust up to level 4 eliminated, and thousands old and young have benefited. Better news to come.
In the coming financial year, tuitions for all Hart NSDA Trust programs up to level 5, note that this is a bachelor's degree, will be abolished for Jamaicans in the most challenging circumstances. Hart will become free from level 1 to 5 for those who need it most, because my administration understands how important it is to continuously improve access to skills training and give every Jamaican a clear pathway to prosperity.
For CVM News, I'm Damien Phillips.
We do apologize for the audio quality in sections of that report. The Pan Jamaica Group is taking a leading role in renovation efforts at the Little Theatre. A multi-million-dollar commitment could once again see the theatre retake center stage as the hottest ticket in town. Joel Crosskill tells us more.
To be or not to be, regarding the renaissance of the iconic Little Theatre, the historic home of Jamaica's performing arts, was answered in the affirmative as the Pan Jamaica Group has announced its commitment towards its refurbishment with a $10 million contribution through the C.B. Facey Foundation, specifically earmarked for the replacement of the venue's central air conditioning system, a long-standing sore point for the theatre's community of artists and patrons, to finally address the venue's decades-old cooling crisis.
Jamaica is a mecca of the creative arts, and this is our only in-use large theatre. But over time, it has not been renovated. The main challenge is the air condition unit. The AC unit that is here, I believe, is over 35 years old. So much so that the parts are not made anymore. That brand is not made anymore either.
Marissa Benain, Executive Director, Little Theatre Movement Foundation, and the lead on the theatre's modernization project, explains that the mechanical upgrade is part of a wider, multi-sponsor overhaul of the Tom Redcombe Avenue venue, being led by the Little Theatre Movement Foundation, with a broader consortium of corporate sponsors concurrently funding a total renovation of the theatre's flooring, windows, concession area, and restrooms. For Jeffrey Hall, Vice Chairman and CEO of the Pan Jamaica Group, it's a role his organization finds genuine satisfaction in playing.
Pan Jamaica has had a commitment to the city in which we live, to building the institutions of the city. And the theatre, the performing arts, that's a part of it. And we really hope that the Little Theatre continues to be a vital gathering place for those interested in the arts, and it's a pleasure for Pan Jamaica to contribute.
The new cooling system will significantly improve overall patron experience and drastically reduce the theatre's carbon footprint and monthly utility costs, securing the future of the national pantomime and the many local and international productions that call the Little Theatre home.
We are grateful for Pan Jamaica to come on board. This is one of on the list of needs. The air condition is number one.
While the current contributions mark a major milestone, the Little Theatre Movement Foundation continues to invite support from the wider business community to complete other essential phases of the modernization project. Joel Crosskill, CVM News.
More CVM News at 7 in a moment.
stylist, no scam and style me.
From the market to the farm to the office, money talk is everywhere. But are you making sense or nonsense? The Bank of Jamaica brings you common sense with BOJ. Real stories, real laughs, and real lessons to help you protect, grow, and manage your money. Mattress savings.
At least my mattress, no charge me to sleep on it.
Partner plan.
Remember last year we needed our payouts early? But Miss Pam gave it to her cousin first.
Or a sketchy loan flyer.
Electrifying deals.
See why making the right financial choices is pure common sense. Brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, empowering everyday Jamaicans one episode at a time.
Grandpa, it's 2026. You can't keep hiding all your money in every single pocket forever.
Watagwan.
Watagwan.
Datagwan pa.
Watagwan. Watagwan.
Watagwan. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
Datagwan pa. Watagwan.
Welcome back. Thanks so much for staying with us. Time now for our regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. Some 650 delegates from 33 countries and 120 organizations began arriving in Cuba on Friday as part of a solidarity caravan transporting some 20 tons of humanitarian aid as the island grapples with an energy embargo. France 24 has that report.
Boxes of aid arrive in Havana, the first of 20 tons sent by 120 organizations from 33 countries. Activists taking part in the convoy condemned the United States energy embargo, which has tipped Cuba into severe crisis.
As Americans, we show our solidarity with the people of Cuba. Right now, what the Trump administration is doing is very wrong.
Food, medicine, solar panels. More aid is on its way to the island, including by flotilla from Mexico. Since January's embargo, Cuba has been at a standstill and has suffered massive blackouts. The US is pushing for huge reforms to the communist country and for Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel to step down. After these comments from President Donald Trump,
I do believe I'll be having the honor of taking Cuba.
Diaz-Canel has denied that Cuba's political system is up for grabs and says it's prepared for the worst.
We recognize the possibility of aggression against Cuba, and we have launched a preparation plan to increase our people's defense readiness.
2 Russian tankers are en route to Cuba in an attempt to bypass U.S. sanctions as one of the worst energy crises in modern history grips the Caribbean nation. Experts note Moscow might be trying to strengthen its influence in the Western Hemisphere. Sky News Australia tells us more.
The crisis in Cuba is intensifying. Multiple aid ships arriving from Mexico and Europe carrying much-needed food and medicine, both in short supply because of the U.S. embargo. But what the country really needs is oil, and now 2 Russian tankers are en route to the island. At a hearing on Thursday, the head of the U.S. Southern Command dismissed the idea that the shipment could be a game changer and said it might not even reach its destination.
I don't think it's going to deliver any. If it did, it wouldn't have the impact at scale. So that's the only event I'm tracking.
Top intelligence officials say it's part of Moscow's new strategy to reassert itself in the Western Hemisphere, following the arrest of former Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro, a close Russian ally.
Russia likely wants to expand its current security and diplomatic ties with Cuba.
The Treasury Department responded Thursday saying under U.S. sanctions, the oil cannot be offloaded in Cuba. It's part of President Trump's maximum pressure campaign, who spoke about, quote, taking Cuba earlier in the the week. And now Democrats on Capitol Hill are asking the administration to tone down the tough talk.
And in international news, 2 ballistic missiles were fired at the island of Diego Garcia, but neither weapon reached its target. One missile reportedly failed in flight, while the other was intercepted by a U.S. warship. We turn to the BBC.
Now, Inspire Jamaica is still in preparation mode for a shift in focus. As part of a natural transition from children with health issues, a teenager you met at basic school age who aspires to become an engineer tips an adult who is well advanced in that field. We have deliberately held back on her identity until such time.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can.
Nadia Watson seems set at 18 on her career path.
Since grade 11, grade 10, I've been into the whole engineering scene and all that. And when I graduate again from sixth form, I'm hopefully going into mechanical engineering at university, God willing.
Don't think about it as this is too much for me. One step at a time, by the grace of God, with commitment to quality work, and you should get there.
Speaking of that, God's willing, I've also now given my life to God a lot more. I've now been baptized, safe to say, and it's been an interesting journey from that point on. Not gonna say life has been easy like that before and after, but it has been a lot more worth it, more peaceful.
Not only has her dreams come true, she's still peaceful with her choice.
I would still do engineering. I'd still choose engineering. I think based on where I'm at though, the perspective is a little bit different. You can apply yourself in so many different ways now that you're an engineer, so I wouldn't give it up. And I think the benefits of having done this line of work and training far exceed anything that I could have imagined, so I wouldn't throw it out. What I would say is that now that I've been here, I can look and see how can I apply myself in different areas.
Facts. Not every child has that opportunity of walking in their parents' footsteps. Nadia's choice of pursuing engineering is far from her parents' profession. I wonder if this engineer's son wants to be an engineer too.
Come, let's have a talk. Justin, what happened now?
What did her parents say when she told them?
When I decided that I wanted to do engineering, when I verbalized it in the way that traditionally we know I want to be an engineer, my parents were a little bit skeptical, but my mother said, okay, if this is what you want to do, let's try it for a summer, and then if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, then we move on and think. So he got me a internship at a consultancy firm for structural engineers, and I was over the moon. I enjoyed it and I did well and I was hooked. So from there on, we just maintained that this is what I wanted to do. At the time I was at the Queen's High School. They didn't offer like technical drawing or anything like that, or building construction, anything. So in a discussion with the vice principal, I said, this is what I wanted to do. And she said, well, unfortunately, we don't do that. You would have to pursue it outside of the school if you were really interested. But I continued. I did the sciences, of course. And when it was time for me to decide now to go to university, again, the discussion came up. And my parents were like, are you sure this is what you wanted to do? And I was like, yes.
We found out that her decision was cemented long before high school, which makes her journey that more exciting, landing her a spot on the revamped Inspire Jamaica coming soon. Get ready to share your story. Tell us about those inspiring community projects, why your company is an enviable example, your church outreach, and why your school is still a good place where dreams come alive. We want the world to know. It starts with an email. kbrown@cvmtv.com.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place.